Okay, looks like we are live. So I will welcome everyone to the annual meeting for the Franklin County Industrial Development Agency. Today is January 18th, 2022. Maria, could you do a roll call for us?
Sure. Sherry Boyer,
Present.
Michael Doran,
Present.
James Ellis,
Here.
Stephen Ehrman,
Present.
Madeline Fleury,
Present.
Justice Martin,
Present.
Archie McKee is here. Other people present: Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Russ Kenyon, Rachel Child, and Sean Kittle, and his little girl, Lucina, right?
Lucina, yes. Okay, thanks, Maria. I will now turn the time over to our governance chair, Jim Ellis, to do the nominations and elections of officers for the IDA.
Thanks, Jeremy. Welcome aboard our new members of our staff. And I hope your experience with us will be as profitable as it has been for us as board members. So thank you and welcome aboard. And to our staff members who are with us again and continuing, it's always good to work with you. So without further ado, we are proposing a slate of officers for the coming year, which is pretty much the same as has been in the past years. We'd like to propose a slate consisting of Justice Martin as chairman, Archie McKee as treasurer, myself, Jim Ellis, as vice chair, Sherry Boyer as secretary. The assistants, and that is basically, that should be a presidential appointment, but the assistant treasurer and the assistant secretaries in past has been Mike Dorn as the assistant treasurer and Steve Ehrman as assistant secretary. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for this year's slate of officers as presented just a moment ago? If not, hello, excuse me, what's that?
I was just saying, not from me, thank you.
Okay, Archie, thank you. Yeah, well, I have to play this game of asking if there are any other nominations. So, if there are no other nominations, then the chair will ask our outgoing secretary, Sherry Boyer, to cast one ballot for this slate. Sherry?
Hi, what is it you want me to do? Sorry.
Okay. As past secretary, I'm asking whether or not you would consider casting one ballot for the slate of officers as presented just a moment ago.
I will.
Okay. It does not require a second. And we have a new slate of officers. And again, I'll repeat them. Justice Martin as chair. Archie McKee as treasurer. Myself as vice chairman. Jim Ellis, that is. Sherry Boyer as secretary. And with the approval and the concurrence of the incoming chairman, we'll mention Mike Dorn as the assistant treasurer and Steve Ehrman as assistant secretary.
Good.
After we drop all the balloons and the confetti, I'll turn the meeting over to Justice Martin.
Okay, very well. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, welcome.
Great to be a part of such a great team and staff to look forward to see what 2022 has for us. I think we've laid a good foundation for what we're about, and we got some fine tuning to do and some goals to reach, but I know the potential's there. So look forward to see what 2022 has for us. I will call to order the Franklin County IDA meeting. The roll call is the same as before for the annual meeting. See,
Are you appointing committees, Justice, or?
yes, I will appoint committees. So we'll do that now. I was just looking for the, to vote on the agenda. We'll do that after the committees. Okay, so the 2022 committees, I felt like since, 2021 was a real big push to get the committees moving at a different level and functioning in newer capacities. We added committees. So I just felt like it would be, you've been doing a great job, and I thought it would be good to continue the committees as they have been for another year. Being, most of us have just kind of, really started to find our way with the committees that we're a part of. So I'm suggesting that we keep the committees the way they are. If there's any questions or objections to a committee that you're on or have been on, feel free to make that known. Or if you have a suggestion for a change, but I think continuing with the way the committees are would be the right approach. Any thoughts or questions on that?
I think
Good
that's
with
a
me.
great idea. Archie, I think that's a great idea. I wonder if we could ask Maria to send us each a list of the committees, who's on them, who's the chair, and so forth. It would be a help. At least it would be a help to me.
Yeah, I will be doing that, Archie, with the listing of board members and their contact info and committees, but I always have to wait until we have actual officers for the year and committees, but I will be doing that probably this week.
Okay, thanks.
Do any of you want me to read them off now?
Why not just for the,
I can go ahead and read them off just to refresh our memory, for the purpose of today's meeting. We have the Entrepreneur and Agricultural Development Committee, chaired by Madeline Fleury, and Sherry Boye and myself are on that committee. We have the Anti-Harassment Committee, chaired by Jim Ellis, Sherry Boye and Stephen Ehrman on that committee. We have the Audit and Finance Committee, chaired by Archie McKee, Sherry Boye and Michael Doran are on that committee. Downtown Revitalization Committee, chaired by Michael Doran, and then joined by Stephen Ehrman and Archie McKee. We have the Economic Development Committee, chaired by Stephen Ehrman, joined by Jim Ellis and Archie McKee. We have the Governance Committee, chaired by Jim Ellis, joined by Stephen Ehrman and Madeline Fleury. We have the Loan Committee, chaired by Sherry Boye, joined by Madeline Fleury and Archie McKee. And then we have the Tourism Committee, chaired by Stephen Ehrman, joined by Michael Doran and Jim Ellis. So Maria will get that out to you. We will proceed as mentioned. All right, so I will entertain a motion to take a nomination or to take a motion to approve the agenda.
Steve, so
Jim
moved.
Ellis.
Jim, I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? So one of the things, as we go into the public comment part, and as I guess part of my, as I look at the IDA for this coming year, I really hope we can put some effort into seeing what we can do to make sure the agency is moving towards becoming stronger, financially profitable. We've, benefited a lot from the windmills and some of the things. And I know we've had some brief discussions in the past, moving forward, what are our goals? And I don't know if there's a committee that would want to take some time to look into that, but it's just one of the things that has been on my mind as I thought about moving into this year, that something we can pay attention to. I'm not sure that I have any strong suggestions as to answers or solutions, but I think it's something we need to pay close attention to moving forward. So that's one of the things that's been on my mind as I think about the IDA this coming year. Any other public?
Just a question.
Yeah.
One of the problems that I have is understanding how the IDA itself is classified within the treasurer's report. So maybe with Archie's forbearance, we may want to set up some kind of a fund description that shows the discretionary money that the IDA has available to it as a result of windmills and every other program that we run. I'm never sure what we have that we can personally use as an IDA. Am I barking up a bad tree there or something?
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Jim. A good first step. And maybe that's,
I think that's a good audit and finance committee assignment.
Yep.
So Archie and I can get together and get the audit and finance committee together to.
Archie is the chair of that, and also our treasurer, so perfect match there. Good.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Jim. Any other public comments? Again, welcome Sean and Rachel. Looking forward to working with you and getting to know you, and welcome to the team. Any other comments?
I was going to say thank you.
Okay.
Do Sean and Rachel maybe want to give just a brief little description about themselves and what their goals might be? Sorry to put you guys on the spot.
That's our plan in the EDC meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Good idea. All right, we will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from December 8th, 2021.
I will make a motion. Sherry?
Steve will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, bills and communications. The committee reports.
No, not today.
Treasurer's report for the IDA.
Because it's January, the treasurer's report that you have is a full year's window into the finances for the IDA. Although I would say that nothing is considered final until we actually have our audit completed, which normally they do that in March and we approve it. I think we approve it in March as well. So that'll be coming pretty soon. But just quickly, our total assets as of the end of the year was $1,827,000. You would note that the cash in the bank is $877,000, and that's a quick answer to the question that Jim raised. And that's up a little bit since a year ago. The profit and loss shows that we did receive some substantial income this year from charges to services. We also had a total expenses of $341,000. And so we had an actual net income this year of $8,793. So that's different than previous years where our expenses far exceeded our revenues. We actually came in a little bit above even this calendar year. And then if you look at our last table, last chart, which is the profit and loss budget versus actual, our income was quite a bit higher than budgeted, and our expenses came in at 90% of what was budgeted. So we did pretty good as far as that as well. That would be my treasurer's report for the IDA.
Right. Entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Make the motion. This is Archie.
I'll second.
All right, any thoughts or questions for Jeremy? Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So there's no old and unfinished business, so we will move into new business. We have our annual resolutions for our policies. So these are all in one resolution. Is that correct, Maria?
Correct.
I wanted to make a suggestion for the procurement policy. It was a little unclear to me how much in our procurement policy, how much the CEO is able to spend without board approval. So I think that would be something that would be good for, I don't know, the governance committee. The governance committee to take a look at, and I think it's not that, I think whoever the CEO is, not that we don't trust our CEO, but I think it'd be good, especially with the way our agency is growing, that, there's a lot of things that are happening, and I just think it's good not only for accountability, but also for the board to get a feel for, how much money is being spent. And it's a lot easier. Well, I think it's better to get that up front than to, backpedal. So I just felt like it would be good for that to be a little clearer in our procurement policy. And I don't know, Jim, is that something you could, your committee could take a look at and fine tune?
I would be very happy to do that. However, I'd like to suggest maybe it go to the Audit and Finance Committee.
Okay. Oh,
Just because of the subject, you know what I'm saying,
okay.
Justice? Yeah.
Yeah,
think
I guess it really does. Someone was talking.
Archie.
Archie. Well, go ahead, Archie.
No, I do think that that's appropriate, the Audit and Finance Committee, and I would also think it would be a good idea to perhaps mirror as close as possible to what the county procurement policy is, so that we don't run into any issues where one might conflict with the other.
Okay, well, why don't you, if you could take the lead and working through that as a committee with Jeremy and whatever help is needed. And I mean, I think it's fine to go ahead and approve these policies today. But then we can make amendments as needed or changes to update them when necessary. But that was one thought I had as I looked at these policies.
I just have a question about the policies, because I know when we reviewed them the last time, there were some changes that we wanted made, and I just wanted to make sure that they were actually incorporated.
The one change that both of the committees had talked about was related to the travel policy and meal reimbursement.
Okay,
And so I added in a chart of amounts not to exceed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the travel policy. That was something that both committees brought up.
okay. I think I had mentioned one too about the credit card limit, that it shouldn't have said monthly credit card limit, that it should just be a limit set.
A limit. I remember that, but I didn't make that change. So that's,
Okay,
yeah, we'll have to talk about that one.
okay.
Yeah, so I forgot to add that in.
So
I'd like to ask a question. Well, I guess it's more of a favor. This agenda appears to be quite complete and includes all the policies and procedures. I'm behind the times, but I'm very much more a paper person than I am a computer person. And I find it much easier to review something if it's in printed form. Start laughing, everybody, but that's just the way I am. I wonder if I could ask Maria to print this agenda off for me, because it does include all of the policies and procedures, and I'm asking her to do it rather than use up my paper.
Sure, so you want me to print the agendas for today's meeting for you, Archie?
Yes, because it's very inclusive.
Okay,
Yeah, there was 57 pages and I agree,
Yeah.
Archie. I tend to print things out as well so I can, because when you're on the computer, you can be distracted very easily. So I tend to print them out as well.
the one had 70 pages.
yep, I will be glad to do that.
Thank you so much.
Anything we can do to keep you on board, Archie? All right, very good. So we'll entertain a motion to approve the policies. And then who is going to what Madeline brought up? Is that a committee issue or is that something, Jeremy, that I mean?
Well, it's already been discussed at committee, so it's just a matter of
it just needs
making
to be put in.
and passing it back around to everybody.
Okay.
So
So
I can do
do-
that.
So do you want the motion to be, I'd be willing to make the motion to approve all policies listed in the agenda with the proviso that the procurement policy, although adopted today, will undergo further review by the audit committee, which will then refer necessary changes back to the full board.
Very nicely worded, Steve.
Wow.
I just want to point out there are two resolutions. The required policies are one piece and that's where procurement is. So that would work for that, but there's a second one for new and revised policies, which is where changes to the credit card one would come in. So just an FYI.
Okay,
So Steve, are you making the motion for 2022-01?
yes,
Yes.
I'll make a motion. Well, that
Yes.
great printing was wasted, but that's okay. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-01.
Very good.
I'll second whatever he says.
Okay, any more discussion or questions?
And actually that, Maria, that will have that, what I did say about the procurement policy would be there, right? We'll just,
Yes,
it applies to that one. Okay.
yes.
Was it clear enough what I said?
It was clear,
Okay.
clear.
Good, thank you. Wasn't wasted.
Go ahead with the roll call, Maria.
Okay, this is to adopt resolution 2022-01 to adopt our required policies. Sherry Boye,
Yes.
Michael Doran,
Yes, I approve.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman,
Yes,
Madeline Fleury,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee.
Yes,
Okay, resolution adopted.
Okay, so we have resolution 2022-02, the adopting the new and revised policies. Do we have a first and a second to bring this to the table?
Steve will move.
I'll make the,
the table.
I heard Stephen Archie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So the only, I guess, comment here is attending to the credit card policy change. Is that something that you will take care of, Jeremy, or? Okay. All right, any other thoughts or questions?
again, I think that's appropriate for the Audit and Finance Committee.
I think that decision had already went through a committee. As far as the credit card issue. But if you have any thoughts, Archie, certainly in touch with Jeremy.
And I can send it to the committee first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Jeremy will send it to the committee and then, we can, finalize that in the next, we have to reapprove it, the change next month.
Yeah, but that's no big deal. Yeah.
Okay, any other thoughts or questions? All right, go ahead with the roll call, Maria.
Okay, this is for resolution 2022-02, adopting new and revised policies. Sherry Boye,
Yes.
Michael Doran,
Yes, I approve.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman,
Yes,
Madeline Fleury,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee.
Yes.
Okay, resolution is adopted.
Very good. Any other public comments? Our date of next meeting is February 9th, 2022. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
No move, Jim Ellis.
Second.
Second, all right, meeting is adjourned.